12. 1 in 12 Asians are affected by chronic hepatitis B. 6. 6% of U.S. population is AA and HPI, yet 50% of hepatitis B diagnoses known to cause liver cancer are in these populations. 1. AA and HPI are the first population to have and to continue to have cancer as the number one cause of death. 0.17% of NIH funding over a 25-year period was devoted to Asian health. Negative 22,521. Negative 22,521. That's the difference between white and Asian researchers funded by the National Science Foundation.
There are so many disparities that are very unique to this kind of special population, is how I refer to them. So Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islanders, first of all, are very, very distinct populations. We tend to aggregate them as one, largely because it's convenient and often because we are missing data that separates people into different groups. So for today, I'm just going to talk about them in aggregate. So we are the only population to die of cancer as a number one cause of death and have been for over 20 years. And somehow this fact seems to escape kind of public knowledge. So it's really important to think about cancer. Along those lines, there are some virally mediated diseases that are particularly prevalent among Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islanders. Hepatitis B is very, very common. This tends to be very endemic, meaning it's very common within the general population in especially East Asian communities. And even in the United States, when you think about Asian Americans living in the United States, 1 out of 12 people will have chronic hepatitis B. And the problem is about a quarter of those people may die an early death from liver cancer. I know this, I've experienced it personally because that's what happened to my mother. And so it's one of these silent killers. So hepatitis B is definitely something that we see a lot of. I think other areas that are really important to think about are common diseases like diabetes. In fact, Asian Americans are considered sort of the skinny fat population in that even at a very low body mass index, we are at risk for diabetes. And so the typical look for diabetes doesn't apply to our communities. And so these are things that we have to do more education around.
Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander populations are one of the actually most underrepresented populations in research studies in the United States and actually worldwide. 90% of all genomic studies that have ever been done have been people of European ancestry. So basically individuals that self-identify as white. And we are a much more diverse population in this world than that. And not understanding the diversity of genetics means that we don't really understand why diseases happen in different kinds of people. A key component of the All of Us research program is genetic analysis. Genetics is really a key to understanding a lot of disease and health for us. The All of Us research program is seeking to enroll at least 1 million participants who share DNA samples. Those samples create a database combined with health information, surveys, and other kinds of measurements, such as activity monitors, how many steps you take per day, and really help us understand the basics of why people get disease, protection of resilience, longevity, why medications work or don't work. All those kinds of things are the reason why the All of Us research program is looking at genetics.
So genomics and genetics are incredibly important, and we are definitely in the era where we are thinking about precision medicine, where we can determine how to tailor healthcare based on your individual needs. For Asian Americans, it takes many forms, but in order for our populations, meaning Asian American, Native Hawaiian, Pacific Islander populations, to benefit from the advances of genetics and genomics, we need to be at the table for clinical trials. We need our samples to be included so we can make sure that the technologies that are happening right now apply to our populations, and that's not often the case.
And one of my real visions for this program is by handing to 1 million people genetic reports and them taking them to their doctors, doctors will get used to looking at this information and how to process it and make it part of their practice, because it's something that we really can scale in this country and I think make care safer and better over time.